Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can I have everyone's attention up here, please? Welcome to our January 16, 2024 Special Magistrate hearing for the Building Division. At this time, if you wish to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Okay, you must be sworn in to speak at today's proceedings. Thank you. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. Our first case is a hearing to impose fines on page 28. Chief Leonardo Martinez, property address 1380 West McNabb Road. Common. Yeah. Owner, McNabb Industrial Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 2309-0159. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 10/15/24. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $9,200, which continues to accrue.
Good morning. Chief Martinez, representing the city, case analysis as read. The case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent to speak.
You turn on the mic, push the button. Thank you.
Tracy, the treasurer for McNabb Industrial. So our general contractor has begun the work, and this is what I can share with you. The first portion of the electrical was completed on July the 20th. Initial drawings were rejected. Signed and sealed engineered drawings were requested. Structural plans were specific for the column repair due to the significant spalling. Since the plans had been submitted the first time, the contractor began the repairs for the exterior building cracks. Currently, the exterior cracking is about a third to a half complete, and it will be completed by the middle of next week. The plans were resubmitted yesterday with the necessary corrections. They just need to be resubmitted without breaking the electronic seal. This is what the general contractor says. The special letter of intent from the engineer was submitted as well. We found out that the FEMA report that they submitted last month was not valid because it was older than 6 months, and he was attempting to have a new report drawn up this week. So we're doing everything we can to be compliant with the city, and of course it's our desire to maintain our structure in the best possible condition, and we're working with engineers.
How much time do you need to get in compliance?
To get them signed?
No, to get in compliance.
Compliant? If you would be willing to grant us 3 to 6 months, I think that the work should be completed sometime between 3 and 6 months.
Okay, Your Honor. What is missing here, if they have an issue permit, is a request for an extension from his engineer, from the engineer, with a listed issue permit on that letter and why they need that extension.
Which that's the letter that got submitted
At this point,
yesterday.
the city has requested to impose fine, and if she can provide that letter, she will get automatically 180 days.
Okay, so you haven't submitted the letter from the engineer. That's the issue.
Okay, so I give you the letter from the engineer requesting the extension.
You can email that letter with the sign and seal electronically to Victoria Bryan.
So that I think is the letter he says he sent yesterday.
We haven't received anything.
The plans were resubmitted with the corrections, and they were done without breaking the electronic seal. Special letter of intent from the engineer was submitted. He says he submitted this yesterday at 8 a.m.
So that... Oh, okay.
We're both deaf. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to read your lips.
Okay, so this is a specific letter for the 40-year recertification, separate from the plans and that process. So under the 40-year program, once you have an active permit, which you do, the engineer has to write a signed and sealed, write a letter, sign and seal it, reference the active permit, and state that more time is needed to complete the repairs. And what the inspector is saying, what the chief is saying, is that then, once they receive that letter, you get a 180-day extension.
This letter is same as the letter I had the engineer do the first time I got.
If you got an extension, it's the same exact letter.
So I asked him for the same document and I resubmitted it.
With an issue,
Yeah.
with an issue permit listed there, and send it to us, and then you will get 180-day extension.
Okay, so same letter as the first time from the engineer,
Yeah.
and I send it to you and to Victoria.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to impose the fines, and once that letter's submitted, the fines will be stayed, and you'll get an automatic 6 months.
Okay, and then the fines will be removed?
No, then you'll have to request mitigation because they've already accumulated. You have fines of $9,200 that accumulate up through today's date.
Okay.
So once you provide the letter, the fines will stop running, and then you can request a mitigation, or they have the amnesty through the city. You know, there's different options.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good
You're
luck.
welcome.
Our next case is on page 29, Chief Leonardo Martinez, property address 1850 Northwest 49th Street, owner EWE Warehouse Investments, 26 Limited, case number BE 2307-0372. This case was first heard on 2/15/24. To comply by 8/13/24, one section not complied at $100. City is requesting a 100-day extension to start on 12/2/24 to 5/31/25. Current
Chief-
fines are $11,000.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and others as read. We already imposed a fine on this case, but they provide us with a letter, and we want to grant a 180-day. That's what we're requesting for them to come back.
Okay.
So,
State
do I
your-
understand
Wait,
that?
please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry, sure. My name is Barbara Hall. I'm an attorney with Greenberg Traurig. I understood we were going to ask for this halting the fine that is running. I would say as of the extension date, which was December 2nd. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to
So-
grant the extension so that your new compliance date will be May 31st.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And we're now, I believe, in compliance, so,
No, okay, what we're doing with this is to stop the fines because you
Right.
provide us a letter. The case is not in compliance until
Until-
you submit the revised report.
We are done. Yeah, we're done, and the permit was closed yesterday.
Okay,
Right.
so
Oh,
you just
perfect.
need to provide us with the report.
yes, we need the engineer to submit the report saying we're now in compliance.
That no repairs are required, correct?
And then,
And then we come back here
Here
and
for
we
the
amend
mitigation.
and we amend the fines.
okay.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Our next case is on page 33. Senior Inspector Alexander Albores, property address 3051 Northeast 47th Court, owner Wayne House Association, Inc. This case was first heard on 11/21/24 to comply by 1/16/25. One section not complied at $50. This case was ordered to reappear.
Good morning. My name is Paul Milberg. I'm the association's general counsel. It's a condominium association.
Yeah, the inspector.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was.
It's really loud in here today.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Inspector Alvarez, for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280C for deteriorated porches, balconies included but not limited to steel columns and disrepair. Case was presented back in November 20, 21st, 2024. The case is not in compliance. The counselor is here to provide an update.
Thank you. Just to give you some context, first, they're doing everything they can as quickly as they can. No one's put this on the back burner by any means. This is as far on the front burner as it can be. But it's a 30-unit condominium, not on the beach. A lot of senior citizens.
Wait, can you guys keep it down? I'm having a really hard time hearing whoever's talking in the background. This room echoes everything, so I want to be able to hear him.
A lot of senior fixed income residents. They just finished in September redoing their seawall. They had to do $250,000 assessment. They just had to enter a contract to redo their roof, $300,000 to $400,000. It's a $10,000 assessment. This project is a $3 million project. It's going to be close to a $100,000 assessment for these people. So it's been a very difficult time for everyone, but they understand the need. The last hearing, we were in a position where we needed to get bids. This very intricate engineering project. We have an engineer hired. We have an engineer that created a bidding package and everything that the companies needed to know in order to present a bid. You know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, it was difficult to get all the bids in time, but we do have 4 bids now, and they're 4 good bids. The engineers reviewed the bids. I think they were shown to Officer Alvarez, hopefully. I was told that. It's a detailed chart, and the engineers right now, I've seen some emails back and forth. He's trying to get some clarification from the bidders so he could present it to the board. The board will then meet with the engineer, discuss and review it, and then approve one of the bids when it's accepted. That's gonna come pretty soon. I'm then going to have to review and prepare a contract and go back and forth with them. $3 million contract, they can't just blindly sign. Like, it needs to have a lot of protections from them. That takes a little bit of time. Once that's done, they do have a loan lined up that should be able to help cover the initial down payment, but they're going to have to assess for the rest of it. But they'll be ready to go. So, like I said, they've done everything they could within this time period. Just asking for another extension to allow all of this to occur. We're happy to come back and show the same good faith effort, I think, that we've shown today.
City supports a 63-day extension, mandatory reappearance to provide another update.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to grant an additional extension to March 20th in order to reappear.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 24, Senior Inspector Alexander Albores. Property address 1240 Seminole Drive. Well, I'm sorry, one second. No, that's the wrong address. Property address 1844 Southeast 1st Ave. Case number BE 2305-0184. Owner Ann Monis. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 3/21/24. Fine suspended as noted for FBC 2021-05.1 only. One section not complied at $50. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $41,850, which continues to accrue.
Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address is read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code Section 105.1, work without permit for interior alterations, including but not limited to partitions created to create approximately 10 offices. Change of use from residential single family to business without obtaining the change of use permit. Property has also been cited for Florida Building Code 2020 Section 111.1.1, use and occupancy, occupying without the required certificate of occupancy. Case is not complied. Record shows that permit application BLD-CU-2310000 01 for after-the-fact change of use and alteration. The status is still awaiting client's reply as of June 2024. There's been no progress with this permit application. Comments haven't been submitted. The designer of record, is that correct? The designer of record, it's here to provide an additional update. At this time, the city does not support any additional extensions.
Good morning. I'm Carlos Rionda, the professional engineer that did all the work that we had submitted up to June. There was difficulties with the permit expediter that we were using, but to make a long story short, we have hired a landscape architect, and I have taken over for actually running the permits to make sure that we do this quickly, and that's just a progress report, no excuses.
Okay, so I'm going to allow the city's request. They want the fines to continue to run at this point until, I guess, they're satisfied that an extension should be granted.
What we would do is try to finish as quickly as possible, which is his recommendation, and then submit the permit, and that's it.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
you would submit the corrections. Once the permit is approved, the permit is issued, you have to go through the inspection process.
Sure.
The permit needs to be complete. There needs to be a CO issue. That's when the case will be fully compliant.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, the property owner can come back and ask for, go through the lien amnesty
amnesty.
program.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, good
Thank
luck.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case is also on page 24. Senior Inspector Alexander Alvarez. Property address 6201 Bay Club Drive. Owner Bay Colony Club Condo, Inc. Case number BE 2402-0159. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 6/20/24. Fine suspended is noted. 2 sections not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,700, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Alvarez for the city, updating you on case number and address is read. The property was cited for violation of 9-280C for balconies in disrepair. It's approximately 7 balconies have had concealed deterioration to the structural steel support members as per engineer letter dated December 17, 2023. At this moment, this is an ongoing project with multiple permits that have been issued. Some permits have been complete, and the board president is here to provide an additional update.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know why I get nervous when I stand here, but I do. I just wanted to tell you that we've completed quite a few of the balconies. We have 2 remaining ones, and I'm requesting if you could please give us 90 days to complete the balconies and do our site inspection. We could use that and finish this up, and then you never have to see me again, okay?
City supports the extension. I had a conversation with the contractor. He feels comfortable that he's going to finish the thing at this property is that there's different folios, so there's different, you have to go through the inspection process or the permit application process multiple times. That's why it's been taking a little longer. So city supports the extension.
Thank you.
And we, in case if there's a hiccup, we'll do a mandatory reappearance if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do April 17th.
17.
Is that 91 days with an order to reappear?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Our next case is on page 27. Chief Martinez, property address 820 Northwest 57th Street. Owner Thomas M. Ralph, Case number BE 2309-0330. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 10/15/24. 1 section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $9,200, which continues to accrue.
Thank you.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The case is not in compliance. I'm going to allow the representative to speak.
Good morning. My name's Judy Day. I am controller for the company that's the tenant in the building. This is Thomas Ralph. He's the owner of the building. We are in process of getting everything done. The last thing to be done is our windows. They have applied for a permit. I thought we actually had a permit, but it turns out they've just applied for the permit. So we're waiting for that permit to be granted, and then the windows will be finished and we will be done.
So it's an applied status?
Yes.
Okay.
I already explained her what needs to be done. I mean, as soon as a permit is issued, they come ask the engineer of record to provide us a letter requesting the extension, so they have the space to complete the job and resubmit the revised report.
Okay, so at this time, you don't want to grant an extension until they have the engineer letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
we
right.
understand that.
Okay, so ordered then. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti on page 3. This is a new business case. Property address 1023 Northwest 2nd Ave, owner LDA Ventures 2 LLC, case number BE 2406-0062. Notice posted at the property on 12/2/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Good morning. Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. The case was opened on June 6, 2024 for home conversion to duplex. The property has been cited by Florida Building Code 2023 under section 111.1.1 for conversion without a new certificate of occupancy. Inspection report was mailed on June 18, 2024. Final notice was mailed on October 25, 2024, and notice to hearing was mailed on November 25, 2024. At this time, no permit or application are in progress. We don't have any contact with the owner. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent speak.
Good morning. Thank you very much for that. My name is Adam Feldman. I'm one of the owners of the property. After finding out that there was an illegal conversion, we purchased the property like this in 2020. Purchased it as a duplex. We didn't do any of this work. We inherited it this way. After listing it for sale on the MLS, apparently it was flagged that we listed it as a duplex. Even though we purchased it, I have the actual MLS record of the property when we purchased it, and it's listed as a duplex on here. There was no prior disclosure at all about open permits, about any work that had been done without any, I guess, required permits. So at this point, we had had 3 different quotes brought in to complete the work and make it up to compliance to convert it back to a single-family home. After getting the bids, we had one at $72,000, another at $92,000, the other one right around the same, so around, let's just say $80,000 to do the work. We purchased this for $319,000, and we just did a full renovation of the roof, paint, and floors inside. We put in about $70,000 into it. So for us to spend another $80,000 to bring it up to code, it just didn't make sense. So at this point, we have it listed on the MLS at a discounted rate, disclosing that the work needs to be done, whoever purchases it. And I'd like to request that we at least have some time, it's currently listed on MLS, to make the sale and at least, something like maybe 3 to 6 months until the permit of the new buyer would be submitted in order for them to put in the work to get it done.
And the property is vacant?
Yes, this side of the unit is vacant. The other side, which is the main house, that one, the tenant is out the end of this month. But the side that was illegally converted, that unit's been vacant for about 2 months.
Okay. Does the city have any objection to 119 days?
It's no problem, 91 days.
No, I said 119 days.
119 days?
Yeah, just to give them time
Yeah.
to close on
We already.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
We also already have plans with an architect that we can provide to the buyers, so it'll expedite that a little bit.
You know, there's two options. You don't have to put it back to a single-family residence. You could permit it as a duplex.
The problem was that the roof, the ceiling height is too low, so the whole entire ceiling would have to be redone, the roof on top of that. There was also an illegal addition for a laundry room that was built out of cement block that needs to be demolished. So just in order for my architect to sign off on it, he said you'd have to do X, Y, and Z, and that's what we got the bid for. So.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to grant you the 119 days, which should be May 15th for
May 15th.
compliance, or $50 a day.
Perfect. Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Our next case is a new business case on page 7. Senior Inspector Alessandro Boris. Property address 1612 Southwest 12th Court. Owner Christina and Ryan Tucker. Case number BE 24040093. Notice posted at the property on 11/19/24. Posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 1225.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Initially visited the property on April 19, 2024 to follow up on work without permit complaint. After comparing previous Google Street View photos with actual conditions found, at the time of inspection, it was determined that carport had been enclosed, new exterior door added, and alterations to accessory structures were made. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to addition, carport, enclosure, exterior door alterations to accessory structure, including roof structural replacement. The case was opened on April 15, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner April 22nd, 2024. Final notice mailed May 28, 2024. Records show permit application BLD-GEN-25010117 submitted December 17, 2024. This permit application does not include exterior doors alteration or alterations to accessory structure. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded. Today, the owner is here and he would like to add additional information.
Good morning, Ryan Tucker. I'm the owner. We were notified about the work and the violations for the carport in the front there. The enclosure, we needed to go through a variance because it was within our setback. So we had to go through the variance process with zoning. That did take quite some time to get the documents together with the engineer and get it approved, but it was fully approved for the variance, and now we're working through the permitting process. As the inspector said, we do need to work on a more detailed drawing with the engineer, which my contractor has said the engineer should be coming out sometime this week. However, I talked to the inspector last week and realized that the violation included our back shed, which I didn't realize until last week when we had gone through that whole variance process for the front carport. So for the back shed, we did, the roof was kind of falling apart. That was a she shed that existed before we bought the property. There were termites in the roof, that kind of thing. So we did replace some of the structuring and the roof to make that a little bit better out there. It's used for storage, and daughter does art projects in there and things. So I think, unfortunately, that will need to go through the variance process as well because of where it's located within our lot, which I know will take quite some time based on my previous experience for the carport. So I am just requesting an extension of 120 days. I think the inspector said he would support that so that I'm able to get that process done for the backyard.
Okay, so I'm going to do 119 days with an order to reappear for May 15th. That way you can give us the status.
Okay, great.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 32, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Property address 720 Northeast 4th Ave. Owner HTG Fort Lauderdale LLC. Case number BE 2402-0140. This case was first heard on 11/21/24 to comply by 1/6/25. Two sections not complied at $100. Yeah, Northeast 4th.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not compliant. The city requests the case be scheduled for a next viable massive hearing. I will let the respondent to speak.
Yes, we were having an issue.
Wait, please state your name for the record.
I'm so sorry. Monica Brooks. I'm the property manager. We were having an issue getting our permit in with our contractor. The engineering and architectural reports were a little delayed. They just recently submitted the reports, the permit. So we understand that the permit has 30 days to review. We're requesting an extension of 119 days. So that we can complete the process. It's only going to take our contractor about 2 weeks to complete the job. We're just waiting on the permit and making sure there's no corrections so that we can begin work.
Do you have any objection to
No, city will agree with 63 days extension.
63 days?
63 days.
Yes. Because it shouldn't take that long.
It's the permit that we're waiting on. We still have 30 days of that. 63 days is going to be for the permit. They submitted the permit a week ago. So if we could just have a little bit longer, just based off if there's any corrections with our permit, so we can submit those and get the work done.
Sure, let's do 91 days with a order to reappear on April 17th. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a daily fine of 100 otherwise? Is that what you had asked for?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're assessing fines?
I'm sorry?
No fines or?
No, a daily fine of 100 if you're not in compliance. That's what that you had before. So it's 91 days, which would be April 17th with an order to reappear.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last thing, my name is Jose. We want to express our grateful with Jose Saragusti. When we have been requested him, always available for us.
Wow, good to know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. Property address 3401 Southwest 16th Street. Case number BE 2407-0169. Owner Lucas Nieto, Liza M. D. Castillo. Notice posted at the property on 11/26/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 1225. This is a new business case.
Can you hear me? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we're going to have.
Good morning. Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address is read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner but not limited to metal awning off the back of the house. This case was opened up on 7/15/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 7/19/2024. The final notice was mailed on 8/19/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 11/14/2024. This property had built an awning off the back of the house. According to BCA pictures, in 2020 there was no structure built. Then in 2021, one was built. It is also possibly built in the setback of the property. I checked records and there was not a permit application or permit for this awning. On 1/6/25, I spoke with Lisa, the owner. She informed me that she had submitted documents for the permit. BLD-DEGN-2501-0106 is currently in review. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to comply or $50 a day thereafter. I'll allow the respondent to speak.
I think your mic is off. Is it on? Okay, now you're on. No, you just turned it back off.
How about now?
Now you're on.
All right, perfect. So thank you, Andrew. I want to point out that he's been very helpful and he's always available when we need him. So I appreciate that, Andrew. Second, the date that the case was open, I just want to point out that we did not receive the first letter. So from your perspective, 30 days went by like if we hadn't responded. This letter was certified and we did receive it. So for the process itself, I think it would be helpful if it was always either certified or we got an email or something to make sure that people are aware. Because 30 days go by and it just gets wasted. We, as he said, we are under review. I want to ask about the timeline and the dates, because if the permit itself comes back that we need to make some changes, then we have to go back to the engineer. So if that were the case, these engineers, there is nothing I can do to ensure that they respond or that they make the modifications right away. So if we were to need any additional time, is that something we work with you, or who do we work with?
We could talk about that.
Okay,
So
perfect. Thank you so
In
much.
order to reappear then on, I'm going to grant it 63 days, and then we'll
Perfect.
come back on March 20th so that you can give us a status if there's a problem with it.
Okay. I mean, hopefully we wouldn't need any more time, but I'm just pointing that out. All right?
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 28. Chief Martinez, property address 909 Breakers Ave, owner Breakers of Fort Laud Condo Association, case number BE 2306-0093. This case was first heard on 1/18/24. To comply by 2/29/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $8,300, which continues to accrue.
Chief Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. The case is not in compliance. City is requesting to post the fines. I'm going to let the respondent to speak.
Hi, Nicole Bloom-Dion on behalf of the Breakers. And I did speak with Mr. Officer Martinez, and I do understand what he's asking. We would just say that as of February 1st, the laundry room would be complete. By the end of this week, the electrical will be complete. It is a timeshare. They have renters. They have everybody. So it's going to be very hard to get the upper levels into code until right after May 1st, because they need to get the pool done and the upper levels of the concrete. They've been working on this for over 3 years. They started early. It's just been trying to get all of the permits and everything else. We're just asking for an additional 180 days. I did contact my client immediately to try to get the letter of extension in. I know that he had asked for that prior, which you did, and that was very nice of you. I just reminded them that we didn't get that, but they have been working to get all of this done. If I could just ask even for an extra 3 days to try to get that letter in, and then if not, I know you need to impose the fine, and then we can get the letter in to at least say it. But if
Your Honor, this case was already here on November. Okay? And we don't do extension on BSIP. Okay? And now it's coming back, and we still don't have anything that we can use to give an extension. City is recommended to impose the fines. I spoke to her already. I explained it to her that if she provides a letter, we reconsider and we give her 180 days to complete the work. But without that letter, the city is not supporting any extension.
Okay, so I'm going to grant the city's request for the full amount then.
understand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can I just clarify with you over there who we mail it to?
Page 31, Chief Martinez, property address 5200 Northwest 31st Ave, owner Villa at Lakeview Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 2308-0393. This case was first heard on 3/21/24 to comply by 9/17/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $12,000, which continues to accrue.
Chief Martino representing the city, case and others as read. Case is not in compliance. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Good morning, Your Honor. Lauren Schwartzfeld on behalf of Villas of Lakeview.
Good morning. Jeffrey Martin, General Contractor, Villas Lakeview.
I'm actually going to let Jeffrey speak because he can give the most updated information.
Yes, so we have an active building permit. At the time in October, we submitted a letter of extension, and we haven't received an approval for the extension.
Okay, what I would recommend is that we're going to impose the fines, and when I get to the office, I'm going to review that, because if they submit the letter with an issue permit listed on that letter,
Correct.
you should have an extension. So,
Correct. That was sent in October to Victoria Bryan and to you as well.
okay, let's.
You guys can't see now. Before I impose it, isn't it a lot easier? Is there any way you can see through your computer if it was received?
Could I make a suggestion? This was in October, which was 90 days ago, and we requested for 180 days. Can we get 90 days extension, and we will have everything
no,
in
without the
compliance?
verification of that letter.
Did you have an active permit in October?
Yes.
We-
Pass the case?
Okay, let's pass the case so I can get back to my computer.
We also
check it
have,
out.
this is a project with multiple folios, multiple buildings. Multiple buildings have already approved our permits. They're just pending payment for issuance. So that's
So
kind of,
is the permit issued? Or?
there's several permits on the project. There's two that are issued.
How many buildings?
One is expired, one is issued, and the others are approved pending issuance, pending payment. We are very close to getting this into compliance. I think 90 days would allow us to
Yeah,
get
but
it into compliance.
we're gonna verify for that letter. If I find the letter, we're gonna record the case.
I
Okay.
can show you the letter right now. I have it
No,
here
no,
on my
no.
phone.
Well, if you just when I go back to my seat, you bring the letter, signed and
Sure.
sealed by the engineer.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll revisit. We're going to pass and come back because I'd rather have something certain than
Yeah.
impose the fine.
Yeah. Do you have the letter on you?
Yeah, it's right here.
All right, well, let's pass this case and then recall it.
Unless he takes them 2 minutes.
Okay, unless, yeah.
The group was part of the request from the union.
Chief, I'll recall this one.
Yeah, no problem.
Our next case is on page 32. This one. Inspector Andrew Gebbia on page 32. Property address 2950 Southwest 17th Place. Owner H&M Housing Land Development LLC. Case number BE 2404-0001. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 9/19/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50.
Good morning, Andrew Gebbia, presenting case and address as read. This case is not complied.
I didn't show it to you.
I'm not supporting an extension. I'll allow the respondent to speak.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, please state your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Hani Levy. I appreciate the opportunity to address this matter. I request that my statement and some other evidence will enter to the record. I would like to submit a written request that I wrote for Your Honor. I am frustrated and confused why this case has escalated, as the property is 100% in compliance. I incur significant expense to remove all the dirt from my land, which is on the screen right now. Your Honor, generosity in granting it as an extension last hearing, I was determined to avoid requesting another extension and instead took proactive steps to resolve this issue. I would like to tell you a little bit about this case. Initial discovery of the issue, on the same date we were informed by the city that there was a problem with the third place on our property. Since then, I have engaged in numerous meetings, phone calls, and email with code enforcement officials, including Joe Pascalino, to find a resolution. Permit for soil improvement. That's the first permit that they ask us to apply. Is active. We apply for soil improvement permit, paid, and all associated fee. and submitted a required document. Unfortunately, we were later informed that such a permit would not apply for a single-family property, despite the following process that we had to go through. Further compliance effort. At the city request, we leveled the dirt, installed ceiling fence, and even planted grass on the property, all hope to resolve this issue. Dispute compliance with those tasks, the case remained unresolved. Later on, we applied for development application. After we purchased an adjustment property because the land was a landlocked, so it was a significant other issue with the land. We obtained, we filed all the development permit. Most of the permit application has been accepted, which I circle on the permit, aside from sewer and flag issue that pending with the court. Removal of the dirt. On November 25, 2024, acting on advice from Mr. Pascaleno, I met him at the city and we discussed this issue, that if I remove the dirt, this case will be complied, as it's stated in the initial letter that we received from the city. This process was incredibly costly. We hired a truck driver, as you can see, a dirt to take it away. All was done at a significant personal expense. We also provided evidence of those actions to the court enforcement to show compliance. Your Honor, I want to optimize that there has not been a single day where I have not actively worked towards resolving this issue. I engaged professionals as engineers and SIVA spent thousands of dollars following the city instruction to this day, and maintained constant communication with code enforcement. Despite those efforts, the city continued to pursue this matter, which feel retaliatory, especially since this case was so public on the news and everywhere. So I feel like I've been punished right now. All this effort, I have over 200 documents that has been submitted to the court of all my effort to today to comply. I don't know what other thing left. It's just a dirt that has been removed. No construction. As you can see, they load in it the same amount of truck that was brought in was taken back. I have an expert in here, a general contractor licensed by the state of Florida, carrying all the licenses to explain you how is it been leveled, and we have proof from the previous land the way it was to today. I respectfully ask this court to consider the excessive measures I have been taken to comply with the city demands and recognize that the property has been restored its initial condition. This
Keep going, I'm listening.
Process has caused this has caused me a lot of emotional feelings right now, so I have no words. I just asking you to close this case today, please, and allow the general contractor.
I'll allow him to speak, sure. Thank you.
Good morning. Michael Hill, owner of the property, also general contractor. I brought with me some pictures of the root of the tree where you can see there is no dirt in there. So this property is elevated since the first place that we bought it. Those pictures for 2 days ago. Same here, seeing the tree level of the dirt behind. Then I can show you some pictures from the Broward County property appraisal, where you can see also the same elevation as yesterday on the property.
So let me ask the city, what are they still seeking at this point? Because I want to understand as well. It seems like
I want to know what happened too, because it is time and year where the picture has been taken. I want to know the difference. The only difference for years before we bought and today, that today is level with swell, so water doesn't go into the neighbor's property. And when we bought it was just a mountain on the middle with water going everywhere. We use improve the structure of the property.
Okay. Let me hear from the city because I want to understand it as well.
Okay.
I don't know what's missing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The city's requesting that we can revisit this case. Oh, I'm sorry. The city's requesting that we can revisit this case. We'll meet at the property, go over the height and level of the dirt, what was removed, and then if everything is sufficient, we can comply it.
Okay, but there's no fines running right now, are there?
No.
No.
Okay, so I don't want any fines to be running. So do you want? I don't know. So you want me to do another reappear? What do you want to do?
We could.
I can provide engineer letter. Our engineer knows that we've been removing the dirt because we have to
Get it to the original. I understand.
I
I know they just want to come back to the property. I'm not going to impose any fines. I just want it closed as well. They're just asking to go to the property and meet with you or your engineer, or whoever is going to have the authority to.
If a substantial amount of dirt is removed, then the case will be complied.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, so do you want to reappear, or what do you want me to do?
Yes, reappear.
I would, only as I think a precautionary
so let's do-
issue, because that
exactly.
way you're not foreclosed from further
Right, so let's just do
arguing about it.
reappear for March 20th, I'm sorry, February 20th, and then if you're in compliance, you don't have to come, he'll close it out. But I just want, I want to help you to bring it to a close sooner than later, but I have to give them the benefit or the opportunity to go back on the property and just re-inspect it.
Your Honor, you're going to be the judge because we saw
Oh, well, if you want, I'm not, if you want me, then we have to come back on March 20th. If you want the other judge, then it has to.
I want you.
It's nice to be wanted.
March.
Okay, all right, we'll come back on March 20th then, okay?
But again, if the case is closed, you don't have to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So try to arrange
Yeah,
a meeting with the building department. You have plenty of time, right? And then hopefully the case will be closed and you don't have to come back.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Good day.
Yeah, just in order to repair, that's it.
Can we keep all these photos and such?
Yes,
Okay.
everything entered to evidence.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, at this time, we're going to recall the case on page 31, 5200 Northwest 31st Ave, case number BE 2308-0393.
Okay, Your Honor, after reviewing the permit that he has on that letter, and I remind that I visited that project and I found out that they were doing work without permit. There are like 10 buildings on that project, and they have several permits applied, but none issued. They have to respond and so far and so on. And the permit that he has on the letter right now is expired. So we're going to move forward to request the imposition of fines, and when they obtain the permits, they can provide us with a letter, engineer letter, stating that they are requesting an extension with the issue permit listed on those letters. Okay?
All right, so ordered. All
Thank you.
Thanks for
All right,
clearing
thank
it
you.
up. All right.
Our next case, is on page 30, Chief Martinez. Property address 3251 Southwest First Terrace. Owner, Phantom Realty LLC. Case number BE 2309-0133. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 4/28/24. One section not complied at $100. Total accrued fines $8,000. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
Chief Martinez representing the city. Case analysis has read. Case is in compliance. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Thank you. My name is Carl Forbes. I'm the engineer for the property. We've taken care of all the issues that I investigated while we did the 40-year inspection. The roofs have been replaced, some electrical repairs, et cetera, et cetera. So it's done, and I believe the input is in the computer and law to build or whatever, and I'm just waiting on the email to upload the payment.
Yeah, the city's only seeking administrative costs, correct?
Yeah, we just requesting reduce the fines from $8,000 to $1,275.
All right, so ordered. We're going to reduce the fine from $8,000 to $1,275.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Our next Next is a new business case on page 4. Senior Building Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1661 Southwest 32nd Court. Owner Sebastian Barrett. Case number BE 24070086. Notice posted at the property on 12/3/24. Posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 1225.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case was opened on July 9, 2024 for property without permit. I received the case from the system regarding expired permit for work without permit. Inspection report was mailed on July 11, 2024. Final notice was made on August 13, 2024, and notice of hearing was made on September 25, 2024.
Hi.
I don't have any contact with the property owner. The property was cited by Florida Building Code 2023 under Section 105 for work without permit. You are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists, to grant the property owner 91 days to come in compliance on a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent speak.
Hi, good morning. I'm Sebastian Barrett. Recently bought this property, finding out that there are open permits.
So that was done before you?
Yes.
Okay. So the city wants compliance in 91 days, which would be April 17th. Do you have an architect or someone you're working with or contractor?
I don't. I spoke with the inspector this morning. He said he's going to come by and do an inspection on Wednesday at 8:30. And then from there, I'm going to, I guess, try to figure out who I need to go to get the stuff corrected.
Okay. Let's do an order to reappear so that in the event you need more time, you'll have it, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to grant the city's request with an order to reappear for April 17th, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Have a good morning.
Our next case is on page 21. Chief Martinez, property address 2098 Northwest 26th Ave. Owner Grace Covenant Church of Fort Lauderdale, Inc. Case number BE 2407-0135. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez representing the city. Case analysis as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Hi, Pastor Brian for Grace Covenant Church. Good morning. First, I want to apologize because the inspection has been done. It was done in October by Level Engineering of Miami, Florida. Why they didn't submit it, I don't know. I did not find out until much later that it had not been submitted to you. They told us they had submitted it because we provided them the entire package that you sent us about the inspection. So we paid them over $3,000 even to get the electrical done. So I just need to get back in touch with them and see what has happened, why it wasn't submitted.
We just need you to provide us or submit the initial report, and automatically, if repairs are required, you would get 180 days.
Exactly.
That would allow you the time to complete the work. So you got 42 days to get us the report, and we grant 180 days.
We'll do.
All right, sir.
Again, we had it done. I just need to find out why it wasn't submitted and how we can get a copy to get it to you.
No, not a problem.
All right, so ordered.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 27. Chief Martinez, property address 720 Isle of Palm Drive. I'm sorry. Owner Lisa M. Quartermain. Case number BE 110141. This case was first heard on 6/20/24. To comply by 8/22/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,750, which continues to accrue.
Chief Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. Case is not in compliance. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Good morning, Andrew Shine, representing the property owner. This case does require a variance from the Board of Adjustment. We were on the Board of Adjustment agenda in January. A couple of the board members at the hearing had some comments regarding changes that we should make. So we are going back to the Board of Adjustment on February 12th. Then after, assuming it gets approved at Board of Adjustment, we do have to go in for permit. So we would ask for 60 days or whatever the time period around the 60 days is with an order to reappear.
City doesn't have any objection to 60 days extension.
Okay, so I'm going to grant it. 63 days is March 20, 2025 with an order to reappear.
And the stay of fines is included?
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 23. Property address, Senior Building Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 625 Coral Way. Owner Thomas A. Valerio. Case number CE 1906-1201. This case was first heard on 1/17/20. To comply by 2/28/20. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fines $11,950.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is in compliance. The city is requesting for fines to be reduced to $250.
So how much? $250. Okay. Yeah, good morning. No, you turned it off. Okay.
Hi, good morning. We received this notice back in November, and we immediately contacted Inspector Martinez, and we were not aware of this open permit, and he explained that it was complied back on
No, the city
2020?
agrees. All they're trying to do is they want to reduce the fines at the administrative cost of $250.
Agreed.
Okay, so ordered.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Enrique Talamo. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too. Our next case is on page 25. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2314 East Sunrise Boulevard, Zone 2. Owner Keystone Florida Property Hold in care of Bird Eyes Tax Department. Case number BE 2306-0204. Excuse me. This case was first heard on 8/17/23 to comply by 10/19/23. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,900, which continues to accrue. There are several extensions noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, updating the case as read. The case is not complied. The city is recommended for the fine to be imposed. I will respondent to speak.
Good morning, Your Honor. Janelle Morgan with Chateau Bowen on behalf of Macy's Incorporated. I have with me Senior Manager of Facilities for Macy's Incorporated, Matt Hodge. He's a subject matter expert, so in the event that he needs to expound a little bit, he's here to provide additional details. At this time, I believe our last hearing, Macy's did not have counsel present, but we were scheduled in November. Since then, there's been an update in which Macy's has reached out to FP&L. There's an access issue with a vault in which we need access for FP&L. They provided a preliminary assessment as to what would be needed and provided a four-stage phase in which to get the project done to allow Macy's access to make the necessary repairs. We've since been in communication with FP&L. They've provided us now with a request to provide an electrical plan, which has been communicated to our engineering consultant, Highland and Associates, which they're working to provide that plan so that we can get that proposal from FP&L to gain access into the vault to make the necessary repairs at this time.
So how much time do you need?
So this is the final phase. So with the 4 phases that FP&L has provided, with about 6 to 8 weeks in each, we're seeing a total of about 30 to 32 weeks to completely close everything out. We just want to reiterate that since our last hearing in November, we've had the holidays in between and dealing with two separate teams. So we've had a little bit of a slow progress since November 21st until this hearing. But we are moving forward to try to get that done and completed out.
Is this building vacant or occupied?
It is occupied.
This is Macy. So, Your Honor, just to highlight, this case was first heard in August of 2023. And I know counsel wasn't present at the last hearing, but we've been hearing a similar update for several hearings that they've been working with FPL. Definitely we acknowledge FPL is not the quickest, but it's, we're working on a year and a half at this juncture where there's not compliance.
McAllister Hodge, and the facility manager with Macy's. So the issue with the structural repairs that needs to be completed, for us to complete those, the FP&L vault needs to be relocated. With the storms in the Tampa region, FP&L has been backed up, shifting resources, of course, to get them fully restored. The power, which is slow walk the progress for us to get the proposal from them. The first step is we need FP&L to provide guidance and a proposal to us on this is what it'll take to relocate the vault. Once we get that proposal and we fund that, then we can open an active permit and start the repairs itself that need to be completed.
The hurricane was a few months ago. This has been going on for over 2 years. So what went on prior to that?
Prior to that, we had other repairs in the milestone recertification to be completed that we worked on and completed. We're now fully complete with all electrical, and what's left in the structural is this last bit to complete. And involving FP&L, it's unfortunately slowed us down on getting completed.
Magistrate, it will be a long process, more than 1 year, and we cannot maintain the case open. It's structural issues there. I think we don't support any more extensions. We would like to impose the fines, and after that they can apply for fine reduction.
That's fine. I'm going to grant the imposition of fines, and then you can request for mitigation once you're in compliance.
Do we have an additional hearing date to?
Once you're in compliance, so I'm not going to put a hearing
Okay.
thing. Once you're in compliance, and you can request a hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 8. Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 711 Southwest 17th Street, case number BE 2407-0379. Owner, Eduarda and Denise, sorry. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 1/2/25.
See here?
711 Southwest 17th Street. Oh, okay. You have to wait to the end. Yeah. Remember, inspectors, our next case is on page 3. Page 6. Our next case is on page 6. Senior Inspector Alexander Aguirre, property address 517 Coconut Drive, case number BE 2404-0157. Owner, Mario Moran Morientar. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This case was created to document the findings of a complaint originating from a neighbor residing across the waterway. The neighbor reported ongoing work being conducted without a permit, specifically regarding the construction of a pool deck and seawall that extended from the rear of the house over the seawall onto the dock and into the canal. Additionally, a floating dock was added. Attached to this case is an aerial image from BCBA which provides a clear view of the property orientation. The investigation began with a record search to determine whether any permits have been issued for the construction. I discovered that a master permit, record number BLD-RNC-22090038, for a new 3-story single-family residence was issued. Additionally, a seawall and dock sub-permit BLD-BDSP-20030014. I later spoke with the complainant, who identified himself as a licensed professional engineer. The complainant reported that a concrete slab had been poured from the back of the house towards the waterway extending over the seawall and dock. Further research revealed an application for a new pool permit, but it had not been issued. On April 25th, 2024, I visited the property to conduct an inspection. At the time, the third floor slab and roof deck concrete had been already poured. I met with the foreman, who indicated that the approved construction documents were not on site. During the inspection, I was able to verify the validity of the complaint and also observe that the pool structure had been poured without the required permits being issued. During the inspection, I also met with Building Inspector Eric Kunz, who was there to conduct a drywall inspection. We determined that the work on the project continued without the proper inspections being scheduled for the ongoing construction. The foreman appeared to be confused regarding the missing inspections. As a result, a stop work order was issued. The foreman later informed me that the permit holder would be available to meet the following day, on April 26, 2024, to discuss the issue. On April 26, 2024, I revisited the property with Inspector Eric Kunz and Alejandro Del Rio. During this inspection, we met with the owner and permit expediter. We informed owner about the issue regarding the poured concrete deck at the rear of the property, which extended from the rear porch over the seawall cap onto the dock and appeared to be encroaching into the neighbor's property to the north, sitting over neighbor's retaining wall. Additionally, we notified the owner of missing inspections, the absence of an approved pool permit, and the required revisions. We informed owner that the stop work order remained in effect and no further work could proceed until necessary plans and inspections were approved. The property was cited for the following violations. Violation 1, Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, swimming pool including plumbing and electrical without a permit. Violation 2, Florida Building Code 2023, Section 110.1, missing approved inspections related to permit BLD-RNC-22090038 for second floor slab, third floor slab, and roof deck. All reinforced concrete column lifts, all beams second floor and above, concrete masonry unit, windows, door bucks, etc., and stairs. Additionally, there are missing approved inspections related to sub-permit BLD-BDSP-20030014 for building columns, steel, building steel rebar. Violation 3 is violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 107.4, work not as per approved plans, work beyond the scope of work. Work beyond the scope of permit, including but not limited to poured concrete deck at the rear of the property, approximately finished floor elevation extends from the rear porch over the seawall cap and over the dock. Concrete deck appears to be encroaching into the neighbor to the north and sitting over the neighbor's retaining wall. Both dock and seawall elevation have been raised to approximately finished floor elevation. Grade has been raised at the north side of the property. Reinforced exterior masonry openings not as per plans, missing masonry openings and windows. Reinforced concrete stair inside the building. The stair inside the building that connects the floor levels are not as per approved plans. This case was opened on April 22, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner May 10, 2024. Final notice July 1st, 2024. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation, assist, and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter for each violation. The city is also requesting for the final order to be recorded. Here today is the owner. He's going to provide an update.
Good morning. We need to turn the mic on. Okay, please state your name for the record.
Oh, sorry. Mario Monifer. I'm the owner and also a builder owner of the property, 517 Coconut House Drive. So yes, there was a whole bunch of revisions that we needed, but our lovely permit expediter here, Vanessa, has took care of a lot of stuff, and we spoke to the inspector this morning, and he's aware of that. We agreed for a 90-day inspection. Bill Thomas, which is handling the seawall, he's got to go through Army Corps of Engineers and all that. So he wants a 120-day extension because he thinks that he's not going to be able to do it in 90 days, but I think the inspectors are willing to only give us 90 days, which I'm fine also, I guess.
He actually said 63, so are you okay with 119? Because I know
I've talked to my supervisor. He supports a 91-day extension, and we'll do a mandatory reappearance so he can provide an update as to the progress that has been made to come into compliance.
Okay, so I'm going to order then 91 days, which with an order to reappear for April 17, 2025.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 9. Page 9, Senior Inspector Preston Mark. Property address 1900 South Ocean Drive. Owner Breakwater Towers Corp. Case number BE 2408-0157. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/24. Posted at 1 East Rock Boulevard, 1225.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 105.1. The building was illegally altered and construction illegally done without obtaining the required permits. The work involved the replacement of balcony railings systems done without permit. There is also a second violation of Florida Building Code 2023-116.1.1, which has been withdrawn from this case. The case was opened 8/13/24. Final notice mailed 9/30/24. Special magistrate notice mailed 11/14/24. The violation originally was addressed under case number BE 230700035, which complied as a result of a permit being issued. However, several of the railings that were in disrepair were not replaced. The co-op indicated that they did not have the funds available, and as a result, further complaints was received from residents at this building. We reopened a new case to address the violations, and at this point there are a report which we received from the engineer indicating that a substantial number of the balconies needed repair. At present, there are records which show that an application, BLDG and 240700509, is in process and awaiting a response from the contractor. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner and grant the property 63 days to comply, or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. I would allow the respondents to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. My name is Tim Hartley. I'm counsel for Breakwater Towers. Thank you for letting me address this briefly. We've applied for the application as per the requirement. We're actually just waiting for the permit to be issued by the city. And so we've applied for the permit. We're just waiting for it to be issued by the city. I think that's all that was required according to this case to close it. We believe that certainly based on the city's timetable, that can be complied with within 63 days. So.
Okay, so ordered then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 13. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. Property address 1528 Northeast 17th Way. Case number BE 2408-0043. Owner Melissa B. Levine. Homestead exempted. Matthew Boulevard, 1225.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to roof patio shade structure. This case was opened on 8/5/2024. Inspection report was mailed on 8/20/2024. The final notice was mailed on 9/25/24. Special magistrate notice was mailed on 10/28/24. I received a phone call from the owner, Matt Levine. He informed me that he will be consulted with an engineer to move forward with the permitting process, which I believe he has done. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
Perfect. Thank you, homeowner Matthew Levine. Andrew and I have been in contact. We've hired an engineer, hired a contractor. The notice we filed with the city, it's been recorded and notarized, and everything's been good. So appreciate all the help, and Andrew's been fantastic. So
Great. Okay, then 63 days it is.
thank you so much.
Good
Appreciate
luck.
it. Have a great morning. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 33, Senior Inspector Alexander Obores, property address 200 South Birch Road, owner Leisure Beach Association, Inc., case number BE 2303-0194. This case was first heard on 5/18/23 to comply by 6/15/23. One section not complied at $100. Several extensions noted.
Inspector Arbores for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. This case is not yet compliant. However, when this case was created, this was addressing, there's photographs of the building. Initially, the balconies were determined to be unsafe. This has been an ongoing project for over a year. They've been addressing it, communication. The engineer association has, done what they're supposed to in terms of addressing it. It is a 10-story building, and I think they're almost over 75% in completion. The engineer, Mr. Miller, is here to provide additional updates.
What is the city seeking now?
We're going to support an extension so they can complete the concrete restoration project. This project this size, it does take. We don't want to rush it, but they've been actively working. There you can see the intents of some of the balconies been completely replaced. Some have been. They salvage what they can to keep the cost down, but they've been working on it as per the engineer's record recommendation. He's here to provide additional updates.
Right, so I'm just wondering how much of an extension are you
I was going to wait for him to request 120 days.
for reappear or for compliance?
If it's okay, it'll be cities recommends a reappearance so they can come and provide an additional update. Just concrete restoration, you never know. If they find something that it triggers more time, he can come and explain that and make the request.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Steve Young. I'm the engineer of record for that project. The structural repairs are over 99% complete at this point. What's left is waterproofing 4 stacks of balconies and the railings on the entire west side of the building. The east side of the building is complete, including the north and the south exterior walls also are complete. The contractor is currently scheduled to be completed with all work by the end of March. So maybe the mid-April. That's why I was requesting 120 days. But I would expect to have a final certification to the building official by the end of March, middle of April, where the permit will be signed off and the project will be in full completion. So I was talking to Mr. Alvarez yesterday, and it sounds like if we provide them with the final certification before the 120 days, there would be no really reason to.
Right, you don't need to come back.
Right.
Right, so I'm going to do an order to reappear just in case, but if you're in compliance, you don't have to come back. So I'm going to grant the extension for the 119 days, which would be May 15th, okay?
Thank you very
Yeah, I
much.
just wanted to clarify. I think, I don't remember if there are any fines, because no? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 7. It's a new business case. Senior Inspector Alexander Abueras. Property address 3250 Northeast 28th Street. Owner, Les Circle by the Beach Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 2306-0035. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280B, building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained, specific to pool equipment and swing metal door frame. The case was opened on June 7, 2023. Inspection report mailed June 7, 2023. Final notice mailed July 13, 2023. Record shows no permit application. We have received a letter from the engineer back at the time, but there has been no updates as to the permit records. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for the final order to be recorded.
Hi, good
The
morning.
respondent is here to speak.
I depress her? Is it on? Okay. Hi, I'm Wendy Darling. I'm their property manager as of July 1st, 2024. And I've corresponded with Alexander. So I'm going to say this, that I see correspondence from that original engineer of record going back to December 13th of 2023 with a bunch of excuses. And then again, 6 months later, they give you excuse that their engineer changed, so all this was delayed. The prior board, prior management company are gone, and we have a new board, new management company. In 6 months' time, we've accomplished more than the prior entities did in the whole year and a half. In 6 months, we have pulled bids. I have an engineer now. We have a signed contract. Permits should be pulled as soon as the drawings are done. I have all this information if you'd like. Here's the excuses from prior M2E.
Well, no, the city acknowledged that they want to give you 63 days for compliance.
I've spoken to the new contractor, and he would like, if he can have 120 days, it should be completed, like the building demolished.
The city stands on the 63-day. However, mandatory reappearance will give you the opportunity to come back and provide an update as to the progress that has been made. If there's a permit application being processed or permit issue, we will make recommendations at that time, 63 days from today.
Okay, so I'm going to grant the city's request, which would be March 20th, with an order to reappear, or $50 a day fine if you're not in compliance. But obviously, when you come here on March 20th, if it shows that you're getting towards compliance, if not yet, then they'll grant an extension. Okay.
Would you like a copy of this letter from the engineer?
If you want it meant to have
I'll look at it over it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 2. Inspector Linda Holloway. Property address 1061 Southwest 30th Street. Yes, sorry. Case number BE 2409-0040. Owner Stephen A. Goldstein, Revocable Trust. Samoy C. Goldstein, Revocable Trust. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Good morning, everyone. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case BE 24090040, property address 1061 Southwest 30th Street. The property was inspected on September 10th, 2024, and the following violation was observed. 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that has started or been completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a shed in the rear yard. I have been in contact with the owner, who has taken steps to get permit application BLD-GEN-24110662 approved and issued. A pre-hearing inspection on January 13, 2025 shows that the permit has not yet been issued, and the city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. However, the city does not object to additional time. The owner of the property is here to speak on behalf of his property.
Good morning.
My name is Steve Goldstein. I'm the owner of the property, and I was informed by you guys, I think in September, that I had an issue with my shed, which shocked me a little bit. It was installed by a reputable dealer, Frank Shed, off of 441, and I never knew anything about a permit. No one mentioned that I needed a permit to install a shed, but I've learned that I'm wrong. I know that, I admit it. So I needed to do whatever's necessary. I'm 80 years old, so I don't really know. I'm not very good at doing some of these things. So I talked to some neighbors, and one of our board of directors recommended a permit runner for me, which I called and hired, Cindy Lajanier, if I pronounce her name correctly. And she requested some information, which I sent her, a survey and some specs on the shed and the original purchase of the shed, et cetera, and she said, fine, everything was good. And I thought that was it. She was going to take care of getting the permit, and then I would do whatever I needed to do. And then, I think it was in October, she sent me an email stating that I had to go in person to somebody to do something. I wasn't very clear about it, but I did. I went and met a very professional lady, one of your group, I guess, Carmen Thompson, at 521 Northeast 4th Avenue. And she was terrific. She helped me. She filled out some application forms and notarized them and so forth. There were 2 or 3 forms that she did, and I thought that was, good for now. She said then I would have to wait to see if I get the permit or not. And I'm trying to get the order correctly. And then also I spoke to, perhaps I shouldn't mention his name, but our new code enforcer in the neighborhood, whom I think is terrific also, and asked him to help me. He looked in his computer and he said, no, I don't need to do anything. Everything's fine. And now apparently, and I must have missed it, apparently on December 2nd, there was an email sent to Cindy requesting additional information. And apparently I was CC'd on it, and I'm not really, I must have missed it. I don't know what happened. But I'm planning now to go run right down to 521 Northeast Street again and give or do whatever additional information you all need, I'm willing to give. The bottom line is I was advised to request 63 days extension, and so I'm doing that.
Okay.
And
so I'm going to do the 63 days. Do you want an order to reappear for that?
Yes, Your Honor, I think so. Unfortunately, sir, I think because the shed is right up against the fence, that's going to be a little bit of a wrinkle in getting a permit. So, yeah, let's give him a little bit more time. You may need a variance for the location.
Correct.
Of the shed.
How do I do that? How do I get a variance?
So why don't you speak to the inspector when we're finished the hearing, and she'll be glad to help you. It's a separate process. It's a pretty easy process, but it's more paperwork.
I'll do whatever is necessary.
Yeah, I think you're going to need a variance from the Board of Adjustment.
I'm mandated, if I'm mandated to move it, I will, but it will be awful, and I think it's going to create some hassles if I have to exit the property quickly.
So that's why you might want to seek a variance from the Board of Adjustment for the setback because it's so close to the fence.
Would like to.
Yeah, the inspector will be happy to give you that right information, set you on that path. But Your Honor, I would suggest a little bit more time than 63 days, and in order to reappear, so you can just give us an update on the progress.
Yeah, I would also, if you could just explore the option of moving the shed because it looks like it's movable. So I would explore reaching out to a contractor or crane company to see what it would cost to move it because it might be cheaper to just move it a few feet. It looks like it's maybe off 3 or 4 feet. So if you could, the requirement's 5 feet. You look like you're within 1 or 2. So you're going to have to move it about 3 feet. There's probably a good chance that the variance would never be approved, and it's expensive and lengthy. It's a lengthy process. So certainly explore the option of what it would cost to move it.
I should still talk to you about doing it.
Okay, so let me...
Should I go down and meet with Carmen to find out what that additional information is?
We'll discuss you and I will discuss the variance. But for now, we're going to grant you additional time.
So I'm going to do 91 days, okay? Instead of 63 days, I'm going to do 91 days, come back on April 17th for a hearing. So I granted an extension, so no fines will be running, okay? And hopefully you'll have it resolved in 91 days. If not, you'll let us know what's going on.
But can someone tell me, apparently I need to give some additional information, but I don't know what the
She's going to meet with you now.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Rhonda.
Our next case is on page 13. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. Property address 1541 Southwest 32nd Court. Owner Elmer C. Zelaya. Case number BE 24080237. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 1225.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a large rear roofed shade structure in the backyard. This case was opened up on 8/19/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 10/2/2024. The special magistrate notice was mailed on 11/12/2024. I arrived at the property and could not see a shade structure from the street of the house. No one was home at the time, so I left a courtesy note on the door. Responding to the courtesy note that I left, I received a phone call from the owner, Elmer. He invited me to come to the property and look at this shade structure built in his backyard. It's a large roof shade structure with asphalt shingles built out of wood. I explained that he would need a permit for the structure, and he understood. He has submitted a permit application, BLD GEN 24110607, which is requiring more information before it goes into review. I have spoke with Elmer a handful of times. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter. I will allow the respondent to speak.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Elmer Zelaya.
Okay, so the city wants you to get into compliance in 63 days. Is that something you can do?
Yeah.
Okay, so ordered. All right, good luck
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Our next case, Inspector Andrew Gebbia on page 11. Property address 820 Southwest 30th Street. Owner Yolaine Petit Frere. Case number BE 24060016. Notice posted at the property 11/20/24. Posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 1225.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a shed in the rear yard. This case was opened up on 6/4/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 6/6/2024. Final notice was mailed on 7/12/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 10/30/2024. I arrived at the property on 6/5/24. I could see multiple shade structures and a shed on the right, on the back and west side of the property lines. I knocked on the door, nobody answered. I left a courtesy note. I have spoke to the property owner, and he has removed the shade structures, but the shed remains in the same spot and needs to be permitted. The city is requesting the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 fine per day thereafter. I will allow the respondent to speak.
Good morning to everyone.
Please state your name.
I spoke.
Please state your name.
My name is Yolene Petit-Frere. At that time, when I saw you, you spoke with my son, and I pop up.
Yes, I spoke with your son.
Yeah, and when I come in, and then I spoke to you, but I don't really know what's going on. But the shed is moving the way you said, like 5 feet or 3 feet. They moved that.
Yeah.
And my son tell me about the number at the front door, remove. I need to put that, but it's put up. And then he said something about the landscaping need to be done, front of the yard.
That's not part of this case, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
This is just regarding the shed.
Okay, the shed is moving.
Okay.
So you have to, so the city wants you to get in compliance by March 20th, which is 63 days, okay?
She still needs a permit for the shed.
The shed already moved. That's what I call you. I call you, say you're supposed to stop and see. The shed been moved for a while.
Okay.
You know.
So, but you need a permit for the shed also. Yes, we were saying, if you were listening to like the last case with the gentleman, you can see the pictures, the shed's very, very close. It's not going to meet the proper setback, which is why the inspector said it needs to be moved.
Yes.
But the shed also needs a permit.
Oh, we need to redo it. Oh.
No, not necessarily, but you need a building permit for the shed.
But if we don't have, we have to redo one, or because it's already there, we just move it. What we have to do?
Well, you need a building permit, and you will either need a variance or move it because it's too close to the...
It's already moved.
Right, so now, which is great, so now you need a building permit.
So they can come and inspect it, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell my son, because that is stuff I don't know, but I will tell my son to do that, to come and get the permit, and then so...
Yes, your son's name is Andrew, correct?
Andrew, yes.
Yes, I've spoken with Andrew, and I explained to him that in order to, before you even get a permit, the shed would have to be 5 feet off the fence line.
But he already did
and in which he did that, and then he would have to get a permit for that particular shed.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I tell him to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, okay. Our next case.
Yes.
Our next case is on page 19. Chief Martinez, property address 1041 West Commercial Boulevard. Owner Tax Doctor.biz LLC. Case number BE 2407-0143. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Posted at 1 Eastborough Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. The report was submitted, but repairs are required. The city is requesting 180-day extension for the owner to complete the repairs and submit a new report, or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
What repairs are on there? I didn't really read the report.
Repairs are required on a structural report.
What does this say?
No, but we don't here to discuss that. We're going to offer you, we're going to grant you 180 days to complete the repairs and resubmit a new report.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Please state your name for the record.
Peter Rudolph.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to grant the city's request for 180 days for compliance would be July 15th or a fine of $100 a day.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 9. Senior Inspector Preston Mark, Property address 1713 Northwest 13th Court. Owner, Selby James.
Do I get a notice in the mail?
There's no reappearance. Are you seeking a reappearance? They just gave you.
What's the 180 days? I just deal with the city.
Right, you deal with the inspector, and then once you're in compliance, they close out the case. If you run into a problem, then we could do another hearing, but the city seems to think that you'll be okay.
Okay. Where was I? Page 9 at the top. Property address 1713 Northwest 13th Court. Case number BE 24090064. Owner Selby James. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 1/2/25.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under City Ordinance 9-280B. There are parts of the building that are deteriorated, not maintained, including but not limited to the roof, ceiling, kitchen, and bath facilities. Also cited for City Ordinance 9-259. In the opinion of the building official, the building is unsafe and considered to be unfit for human habitation and posted as unsafe. The case was opened 9/9/24, inspection report mailed 9/10/24, final notice 10/3/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 11/12/24. I visited the home after receiving a complaint from a concerned neighbor and met with Miss Trulitt, a relative of the homeowner, Mr. Shelby James. During our meeting, she explained that Mr. James is incapacitated and is under the care of a social worker. His home is under a reverse mortgage, and the insurance company has refused to make any repairs due to financial issues. I observed that the roof system, including is completely damaged and leaking throughout the home. There's no AC in the unit, and the water and utility bill was on at the time. The home is mold infested, and there are major components of the roof in system, including structural members that are deteriorated. Also, the kitchen and bathroom facilities are in severe disrepair and considered unfit for living. At the time of my visit, Mr. Selby fell ill and was taken to the hospital by an ambulance. See photos attached. As instructed by the building official, the property was cited for unfit for living and posted as unsafe, as mentioned above. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 91 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day for each violation thereafter. The respondent is here to speak. This is Mr. James's son from New York.
Is somebody living in there?
Yeah.
No one's living there at present.
No.
But they were.
Was.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Leighton James. I'm one of the sons of Selby James. My father purchased the home in the 70s, and we live in New York, and he lived here. So when we speak to our father, it's basically how you doing and so on and so forth. And as you know, old person or older person, everything is fine with them, no matter how it is. So being that we are in New York and he's here, and now we are old and have our families, we don't really visit our father. It's just by speaking with him to ask him how he's doing. Upon learning of the property and how it is, I'm a plumber in New York, so basically the building is in this condition that it is, but two of my cousins always visit my father to make sure that he has food and he's in good condition. Right now he's in a nursing facility, and he is in good condition because I visited him yesterday and spoke with him. His main thing is he wants to get back in his house. Now, the thing about it is we're in New York. I mean, it looks the way it looks, but it's not that critical. It's
bad.
It's bad, but it's not that critical.
Well, it is for anyone to live there. You have
no, but he's not living there now.
I understand, but you have a hole in the ceiling, you have no air
Yeah,
conditioning.
so that's why I'm here. So we're looking to. He has he took out a second mortgage of the home. Heaven knows what he did with the money, because he didn't do anything to the house. So basically, I'm in negotiation with the mortgage company, PHH, of purchasing the property from him because the house is basically not feasible for anybody to live in. So me and my sibling what we want to do is purchase the property and fix the property. But the thing about it is, PHH is in negotiation with us because he's in a mortgage extension, and that can't happen until the mortgage extension expires. That's the only way now that they could come into negotiation with us about purchasing the property. So we are in a dilemma of what we want to do. I don't want to fix the property and then the bank says no. They're just going to hold on to it and give me no avenue to purchase it. So right now they're saying that they will negotiate with me in purchasing the property, but it will be after the mortgage extension is expired. So right now my father is still in the nursing facility, which will be feasible for us if we do purchase the property. Then they could be my sibling main objective is for our father to live out his dying days, however long that might be. In his 80s, so however long that may be, in his home, in his property. So I would have no problem in trying to find a contractor to fix or do some work on the property, whereas the condition that it's in will be much better for him to be in his home.
So, sir, you would agree with me that that property, as it is right now, is uninhabitable for anyone,
yes,
right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I'm not looking to put him in the property now.
How long is it anticipated that he's going to be in the nursing home?
How long? However long God allow him to live. I'm not looking at that as a thing to say how long. I'm just looking to fix the property and to bring him back in his home and let him live out his remaining days in his home. I mean, he's asking to go in his home now, there is no home. For me, telling him yesterday that, you can't, there's no place for you to go now. But I would like for him, he's constantly asking about his home. This is something that he purchased since he came from Jamaica.
Right, so having taken care of my grandmother, that's why I was asking the question, because nursing homes will host patients for a certain amount of time until such time as they deem them it's unnecessary to have them in a nursing home. So I guess part of my question is, if the nursing home says at the end of January or next Tuesday, for example, your dad is fine and it doesn't need to be here anymore and insurance isn't going to cover it, where's he going to go?
Oh, well, I can answer that question right now because I didn't have conversation with the nursing home about how he's doing. Well, right now he's in a better state of mind he's always been in, but his physicality wasn't up to par. So he's doing physical therapy and stuff like that. So I really can't tell you how long because I really didn't discuss that with the nursing home.
And I don't mean to lecture you, but I am going to lecture you. I would suggest that you and your siblings get a little bit more involved with your dad's life and this property. This is an uninhabitable home. He should have not been there when the inspector went and the ambulance was called. It's not a livable for anyone, let alone an elderly person. And I understand that you all are in New York and it may be inconvenient, but this is your father. And so you need to ascertain with the nursing home how long they expect to care for him, because oftentimes, I have personally found, they will say, well, his care is over with us, insurance isn't going to cover, and they may give you a day or two notice. You've got to have a plan of action. Your dad, I'm sorry, I don't know your dad, I don't know you, but he deserves better than living in a house like this. So you all need to get more involved, whether you like it or not. You just need to. I'm very sad for your dad living in those kind of conditions as an elderly person.
That's true.
So it doesn't sound like you've got a great plan. You're waiting for the mortgage extension to expire. You have no idea, even though you visited your dad, you have no idea how long he's going to be in the nursing home. And that type of the repairs that are going to be required for that property are significant. It's not, those aren't,
Well, the thing about it,
those aren't, patch and paint. Those
Right.
are significant repairs that are going to be needed on the house.
Right, so
Do you
the-
all have the funds to do that?
do we have the funds? In a way, yes, kind of. I have, like I said, I'm a plumber in New
Okay.
York, so I have my 401k, which I could borrow against, which basically.
Or you
will-
could do some of the work maybe, because.
Right, and I could do some of the work, But the thing about it
Can
is,
we put in the order that nobody can live there until it's a final inspection? Because
Yes, I would
that's part
suggest
of
that,
it,
Your Honor.
So
It's uninhabitable.
I mean,
so-
it will remain uninhabitable. So I don't mind giving him time as long as nobody lives there, because there's no harm, no foul. As long as his dad's staying in a nursing home,
Yep.
Thank
then
you.
I'm okay with that, giving you more time. It seems like you need more time.
So
Not
I
even-
would, sorry, Your Honor. So if we give him the 91 days
That's
with a
not
mandatory
enough.
reappearance, by then he would know if he can purchase the house from the mortgage company.
Right.
Or if they would have sold it.
Right.
And that way, that would comply my case. And then we may have to address it with the new owner.
Well, it's not going to
the
comply
property-
the case. It's going to stay open.
It will stay open, sorry.
So
So-
my order is just going to say, I'm going to give the 91 days with an order to reappear, $50 a day, and that nobody is allowed to live there until there's a final inspection. It has to
Excuse
remain
me.
uninhabited.
Can I have more than 91 days? Because if the PHS, the mortgage company, do allow me to purchase the property, it would basically take more than 91 days to fix the property, being that they're looking to do away with the mortgage extension in February, the end of February. So that's already 30 days. So
Well,
you're
I-
talking about 2 months.
Right, but I think that's why we want the reappearance in 91 days, because that way you can
That'll be
come back,
April.
or someone can come back and update us as to, did it actually expire? Have you purchased the property? And what's the update with your dad? And what's the plan going
And
forward?
if you're not able to come, then you should hire like a permit or somebody that can give them power of attorney that can be here on your behalf.
Or
because-
one of your cousins, or if they're
Right,
local.
right.
Is there anybody local? You said the cousins,
Yes, I have
right?
2 cousins here that basically
Yeah,
say.
so,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so another thing that issue that I have with is the power of attorney, whereas it states that it didn't state of time within a time frame that the powers of attorney is basically valid. It just states that, the power, right now I have a
fine.
power of attorney, right? So,
It remains
really-
in effect unless there's another time, unless there's an expiration date on it, your power of attorney remains in effect.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck
So,
to you.
so are you clear on it? 91 days, you're going to reappear, and at
Here?
that point, you'll give us
Will a
an
notice
update.
be sent to me?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be sent to the property. Can you
But I'll
maybe
give you-
give the ladies in the back your address so we can send, because all the notices under the law go to the property owner at the property address. So if you could provide your address, we can send you a copy as well.
That'd be fine.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Take care of your dad, dude. Okay.
At this time, the city is requesting a break. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We will now resume our special magistrate hearing for the building division. Hello, we're back in session. Our next case, Senior Inspector Preston Mark on page 23, property address 220 Southwest 30th Ave. Owner, Cecil Michael Hines. Case number BE 23060167. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 5/30/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fine $6,950. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $575.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. There was an expired permit related to this property, which has complied. The city is requesting that fines be imposed. We have reduced fines to administrative cost, and then further to, I believe, $575.
Please say your name. Oh, your mic's not on. Oh, now it's on. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm Cecil Michael Hines. I'm the owner of the property.
Okay, so you're in agreement with the city's recommendation?
Yes. I was wondering whether or not I can get a further reduction because I think I'm just paying. For work that was already done.
They're seeking just administrative costs of $575. I don't know what it's based on. Is that on the number of hearings and inspections?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to grant the city's request for $575. Okay, thanks. You're done. You're done.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next
Okay,
case
thank you.
is also on page 23, Inspector Linda Holloway. Property address 413 Southwest 3rd Ave. Owner, Water Taxi 18 LLC. Case number BE 24050184. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 8/15/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,400, which continues to accrue.
Good morning again. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number and property address as read. Property is not in compliance yet, and Tyler is here to speak on behalf of the property.
Good morning, everyone. Tyler Flanzer with Symbol DOT. How are y'all doing? Ooh, out of breath running up those stairs. All right. Good morning, Inspector Holloway, Your Honor. I just want to talk briefly about what's going on that job site. As we know, we have a multi-phase development across the river here on New River. 6 acres of waterfront across the river here, and we had full intentions on being in compliance with this code enforcement case many months ago. Inspector Holloway, as you know, and recognize, we have begun the early works on that project on the 408, which is adjacent to the 413 site where we are currently in disrepair. Oh, excuse me. And due to some unforeseen circumstances, we had to stop the early works of the 408 site, which is adjacent. And as part of those early works of that project, what is contemplated was the continuation and the extension of the seawall, the newly constructed seawall on the 408 site, into the adjacent 413 site, which we would be demolishing and replacing the current, wooden dock that's in disrepair. So, and that work is already permitted and contracted. But due to these delays and the timelines continuing to push out, we had to pivot now. We are going to be moving forward with simply repairing, which is a significantly faster and more cost-efficient solution than, bringing in, the brand new seawall. So those drawings have already been prepared. I've sincerely apologized about how long these timelines have continued to be pushing out, but the drawings are prepared for us just to be able to actualize a simple repair, bring it into good standing. Those plans I have in hand and will be submitted as soon as I get the authorization signatures from ownership. So I anticipate having those into the city and bringing this to compliance within the next 63 days. Yeah.
So you're asking for additional time?
Yeah.
Do you have any objection?
Yeah, no, the city supports a 63-day extension.
All right, so I'm going to grant the extension. Do you need a notice to reappear, or are you going to be in compliance?
Yeah, Linda and I are in very, close communications. If there's any need, I don't see any reason for a reappearance. We should be in compliance within the 63 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So it'll be 63 days, which will be March 20th.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case, Senior Inspector Alexander Albores on page 33. Property address 1560 Northeast 4th Ave. Owner Bernard Cherasol. Case number BE 24080369. This case was first heard on 11/21/24 to comply by 123/25. One section not complied at $100.
Inspector Albores for the city updating you on case number and address is read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023 section 105.1 for change of use and work without permit. The case is not in compliant. This issue was first discovered by the fire department during a safety inspection. What's happening here, this is a small strip mall, and there's a supermarket that has expanded into the adjacent spaces and has expanded multiple times. What they're doing is removing tenant separation walls and not obtaining the required permits for change of use from business to mercantile, and for the work itself. There's been walk-in coolers added. There's safety concerns with the electrical accessibility, and the city has requested that the building be assessed by a qualified licensed architect or an engineer to determine if the building is safe. We haven't received a verifiable letter from the owner of the contractor. They're here to provide additional updates in that regards as well. Go ahead.
Bernard Cherasol is my name. I'm the property owner. Your Honor, we made a lot of effort to comply, and we find this gentleman with the GC. He really did his best, but he's here to tell you where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. I was hired after the letter was issued.
Can you state your name first, please?
Mohammed Islam with the Diamante Construction. I spoke to Inspector Alvarez, and we've been communicating, and after the first conversation, the first thing that we have done, I hired an engineering firm, the architecture firm. They send the structural engineer, electrical engineers to assess the entire the business. So what they found that I have a letter here, and they have sent a digital signed copy of the letter to me, and which I also forwarded to Inspector Alvarez. The principal of the architectural firm, he was at the time in Europe, and I just got a recent letter communicating with him. He's coming back next week. So Inspector Alvarez was requesting a hard copy, original signed. So I can definitely, they told me I can give you this letter that I emailed.
Oh, that's a different letter. Okay,
that's
sure.
the email that I received from the architectural firm.
Okay,
that the principal is coming back next week. So once he comes back, they can issue the original signed. But the one that they send it to me, which I forwarded to Inspector Alvarez, that's digitally signed. Yeah. And you can see it's a DocuSign, whatever. So you cannot sign a DocuSign unless you are you're personally signing that. The second thing, then we actually employed them again. I have a architect firm that I work with for like a long 10 years. He looked at everything, then finally he gave up. Then I employed the same company that I initially used them, and they had already addressed the architectural part of it. We are just missing the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. They have two team which is there working, and they're telling me like by end of next week they should be able to give me the preliminary set for the architectural, which is, I mean, not the architecture, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So I'm requesting at least maybe 30 days to have the whole thing assemble all the plan and apply for the permit, because we are like, pretty much everything with the planning is on hand,
So
except that.
once
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
the permit, do you know how much time you need to get in compliance?
Once I get the permit, I say like, maybe 120 days to like, get everything, because then, I just have to hire the subcontractors and get these things moving. And Inspector Alvarez knows, these guys, that they're my friend for a long time, and I actually got pulled in because of him. Because 4 of the friends, they bought this business, they did not do any of these changes. This was not done by them. They bought the business just like that. Now they're in a big trouble, because they put their lifetime savings to buy this business, and this is like horrible. And I told them, I said, next time you buy anything, you let me know, so I'll look into it before that.
Makes sense.
Absolutely, ma'am.
So why don't we do a notice to reappear, an extension for 63 days, and then with the notice to reappear, and then I guess at that time, if they have their permit, you can then give an extension.
If I may add, we did that, and it would be okay. We did that last time. We requested the letter from the assessment from the licensed professional. As a reviewer, the building code does not allow me to accept copies. I've had this conversation with him over 2 months ago, before the previous hearing. I told him it needs to either be verifiable signature or sign and seal hard copy. This has not happened. He's telling me the engineer is out of the country. Maybe he should get another engineer, but we don't know if the building is safe while it's being occupied. It's being occupied without a certificate of occupancy.
So then, you know what, I'm not going to give as much time then. That is, I do need a safe to that's not a safe to occupy letter, or it's not safe?
This is a copy.
Okay, so you need this. Okay,
And
so
I
let's
need
do it
to-
from-
Right, and I looked at it, Your Honor, and it does say that the engineer's in Europe, but I've said this many times over the years, unless you're in like Afghanistan, maybe North Korea, maybe some other countries, FedEx goes everywhere.
Right.
So even if they're in Europe, they can, we see permit applications, and I've seen them over the decades from people all over the world. When people, in the old days, when you had to do the hard copy, and
Yes,
they
ma'am.
came from all over the world. Have the engineer sign something originally, FedEx it, pop it in the mail, and we should have it immediately.
So
The city. Sorry, you
So
know.
anyway, I'm gonna change it to 35 days then, because I feel that it's been more than enough time. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna grant the extension, but I'm gonna give 35 days
Yes,
because we need that letter. It's a safe to occupy. Is,
Absolutely.
I
I agree
life
with you.
safety issues.
And this one, I was actually on the site when the electrical mechanical engineer came. They assessed everything. I was with them when they were examining the letter, because I did not know. They didn't tell me that the principal was not in town. So they told me that's he digitally signed from there. So I forwarded to exact email that they sent me. I forwarded to exact same thing.
It's not verifiable.
Well, as I said,
Send me. This is what you sent me.
Right. That's the
You
printout
can't-
that I.
If you scan a document, from there, it's a whole process that the system goes through.
Yeah.
Okay. What you send me a copy of a digitally signed. That is not acceptable.
No, I did not copy anything. I forwarded you
Someone
exact
did.
email. I sent you the forwarded you exact email that they sent me with the attachment.
And
I
we
forwarded you
had this
that.
discussion
Right.
back over 2 months ago, and I've explained to you why I would not be able to accept the letter. We supported an extension. Next time you're getting another extension today, 35 days, please get us this letter.
I will, believe me. I showed you the email that they sent me. He is back next week. So as soon as he comes, he's in St. Augustine. They're going to sign it and send it to me. So I'll bring it to you, and I can,
Okay, and I'm in order to reappear as well for the same February 20th. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Good luck.
So,
Thank you.
By that time, I should have the original for you.
You
and
have
also
to,
the-
otherwise the fines are going to start to run because you
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
getting extensions. So it's going to be March 20th will be February 20th will be your new date until you have an actual
Thank you, ma'am.
letter.
I will have the letter and also the plans to apply for the permit. Thank
right,
you.
good
ma'am.
luck to
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 5. Property address 401 Northeast 5th Terrace. Owner, Roller Place LLC. Case number BE 24110019. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/24. Posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Which one? What's the address? 401?
Yes.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. I would like to begin by providing a brief history related to the property. Back in February 17, 2016, a change of use permit PM 16021408 was applied for to change the use from auto body storage to bar. Attached to the case are Google Street View photos from before 2015. Later, on 4/6/2017, there was a case created to address violations for change of use from warehouse to indoor-outdoor assembly. Inspection result comments related to the case CE 17040490 indicate that the location was being occupied as an outdoor-indoor assembly where gatherings are conducted and exceeding the occupancy capacity under the allowed use of auto storage building. Comparing Google Street View photos from before 2015 with the photos from 2015 show an approximate timeline as to when alterations to this property began. On June 14, the permit was issued for after the fact change of use auto body to bar. We are here today because as of Tuesday, January 14, 2025, almost 7 years later, permit PM 160200, I'm sorry, I'll repeat that. Permit PM 16021408 has not been completed, nor has the required certificate of occupancy been issued. The property was cited for violation of FEC 2023, Section 111.1.1, required certificate of occupancy. The required certificate of occupancy related to change of use permit PM 16021408 has not been issued, yet the building is currently being occupied. For the record, there's a separate case that will also be presented today regarding the adjacent property to the west, which is also being occupied as an extension of this business. Case was opened on 11/4/2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner 11/4/2024. City's required steam for the magistrate to find that violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $250 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting for the final order to be recorded. The council is here to speak.
Good morning, Your Honor. Courtney Crush on behalf of the business owner. There are permits that are issued, work done, both the master permit that the inspector referenced and life safety permits. The contractor, this business is open for 7 years, I think. And now our client has engaged a new contractor who's doing a change of contractor today to call for inspections and close this out. We very much appreciate a little bit of time just to get this.
63 days, you're
certainly.
Fine. Okay, then so what?
Wait a minute, so you're saying that this permit has been issued?
That's my understanding. It's
The
an open
permit was issued. It expired.
It
last time
expired. It was
yeah.
issued. The work was done. There were some inspections, and for some reason, because it was never closed out by the contractor, we now need to ask, and we've already contacted the building official to reopen an expired permit with the new contractor. Call for the inspections.
Yeah, there's multiple missing inspections under that permit, so the inspections
need to be called for.
Be called for and approved.
All right, so ordered.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Our next case is also on page 5. Property address 515 Northeast 4th Street, owner 515 Inc. Case number BE 241-00040. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/24. Notice posted at 1 East Rock Boulevard, 1225.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 111.1.1, use and occupancy. This property is being used for gathering and or as extension of adjacent business without obtaining the required certificate of occupancy. The case was opened on 10/4/2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner 11/4/2024. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $250 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for the final order to be recorded.
Morning, Your Honor. Again, Courtney Crush on behalf of the business owner. This space, our firm has been engaged to do a change of use for this expanded area. There currently is not activity. I understand, I believe the city appropriately wants to keep this case open to do inspections. I will also have the client take down the advertisement. As I said, when this was brought to their attention, they're not doing their activities, but it's on their website. So we're going to do the change of use. We'll do that expeditiously, and no use of that property will occur.
Okay, so then I'm going to grant the city's request for 63 days, $250 a day. All right.
Thank you very much.
For the record, if I may just also add that there has been previous cases at this same property for the same situation, and they've been, your client has indicated that he was not going to use, continue using the property for that use, and then he turned around and
I understand.
did it.
I saw the 2019 notes, and he explained to me it was 2020 COVID, and I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the
For the
property
record.
won't be used, and we will work
Thank
hard
you.
to legalize it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 4. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1616 Northeast 16th Ave. Owner, Cota Perry Realty LLC, case number BE 24080078. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 1225.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case was opened in August 7, 2024, for property without for expired permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.3.2.1 for expired permit. Inspection report was made on August 9, 2024. Final notice was made on September 16, 2024, and notice of hearing was made on October 25, 2024. The permits remain expired. We're asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days to come in compliance of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Hi, Your Honor. This is a long problem that I have.
What is your name, sir?
Sorry, my name is Jose Sigala. I am representing the Cotoperi Realty LLC, that is who own the property.
Okay.
This has been a long problem since 2023, multiple violations. I hire a company who suppose that is going to solve me these problems. In the first part, they do the permits for the requesting the city that the products that the city requests to put in compliance, and the company, the contractor, let the permits to expire. They say many lies to me, one thing and another, and after they let the permits expire, the city requests me another 3 permits because of a roof, kitchen, and air conditioning. I request him again to put on compliance, and it has been hard to me many times. As I explained, Mr. Saragusti, that always have been willing to help me and explain the things to me. I have been trying, I pay them, and my last thing was call a lawyer to call them and say if they don't solve me the problem in the next 60 days, I will have to sue them because it has been many times.
Right. Okay, so the city wants compliance in 91 days, which would be April 17th. Is that going to be a problem?
No, I hope I can complain that, and I'm gonna be involved personally in to solve this.
I will request Orden to reappear.
In order to reappear? Okay, sure. So, and to come back on April 17th to come back to another hearing, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you, Sarah.
welcome.
Thank you.
Diane, did you get that? Diane, did you get that? There's an order to reappear, and it's okay in 91 days. 91 days, yeah.
Okay, this concludes all of our respondents. However, we have one gentleman here that would like to listen for a property. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the power of attorney, but we can go ahead and listen to it. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, page 15, property address 5100 Bayview Drive, owner Royal Lauderdale Landings, Inc., case number BE 2409-0006, notice posted at property on 12/3/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to metal fence around the pool area. This case was opened on 9/3/2024. The inspection report was mailed on, the final notice was mailed on 10/9/2024. The special magistrate notice was mailed on 11/12/2024. On 9/4/2024, I received a phone call from an owner of the building named Jim Hannigan. And speaking with him on an unrelated case, he informed me that there was a recently newly installed black metal fence with gates around the pool area, and it was installed without a permit. I checked records, and there was not a permit issued for this. The city has requested the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter. Jim Hannigan is an owner in the Royal Lauderdale Landings, and he would like an opportunity to make a statement.
Hi, thank you. My name is Jim Hennigan, and as Andrew said, I'm an owner of the building. The fence was erected without approval from the board. It was sort of illegal, even within the board. There's currently a DBPR case that's been referred to General Counsel in regards to it, number 202-403-6175. The reason I'm here today is because the current board has decided not to run for re-election, and their term ends on the 6th of February. So the new board will be adopting some of the issues that are facing, and we believe that since this was from all appearances, an under-the-table deal with friends and associates, we will have a hard time getting the information from the contractors. So we're looking for whatever we can request in order to satisfy the permitting obligation. It's a tough one.
Okay, well, obviously stay in touch with the inspector, and if there's, you need additional time. Do you want to do an order to reappear then as well?
No, I don't think that's necessary because I have other cases in the building that the initial cases complied, and then I have a case with with a plumbing situation, which the permit is issued for that. I've spoke to the people in, excuse me, I spoke to the people in, the officials. I don't know who. His name, Richard Stedding. I spoke to him.
Richard Stedding is the current president, yes.
He assured me that it was the fence contractor that dropped the ball, and he was working with them to try and get this permit for the fence. It's still not issued yet. It's not even submitted, but...
Okay, well, then I'm going to grant the city's request for a 63-day compliance, which will be March 28th, or $50 a day.
Perfect.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, that concludes all of our respondents. Going back to page 1, Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr., property address 401 Northwest 14th Way, owner Miguel Angel Perez, case number BE 2407-0228, The notice is posted at the property on 12/2/24, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Good morning, Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This case was initially inspected on July 17, 2024, and the following violation was observed. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to wood and metal fence. An inspection report was mailed out on July 17th. Final notice was mailed out on October 18th of 2024, and then it was scheduled for magistrate on November 18th, 2024. I was in contact with the property owner in the beginning. He was basically, they submitted for a permit. There's a permit in the system, permit number BLD-GEN-24090265. As a check of this morning, it's still in the awaiting client reply stage as of November 27, 2024, so it hasn't been issued. City is requesting 63 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 2901 Northeast 55th Place. Owner Oliver Henry Traggart. Case number BE24080309. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. on behalf of the city again. Case and address as read. This case was first inspected August 26, 2024, and the following violation was observed. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to final notice September 27, 2024, and scheduled for magistrate October 28, 2024. And I have no contact with the property owner. However, there is a permit in the system that has been applied for under permit number BLD-GEN-24110700. And as of this morning, it is in the plan set submitted stage as of January 13, 2025. City is requesting 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
On to page 2, Inspector Linda Holloway. Property address 1050 Southwest 32nd Street. Owner Cabert Properties LLC. Case number BE24080226. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Good morning, Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case BE24080226, property address 1050 Southwest 32nd Street. The property was inspected on October 2nd, 2024, and the following violation was observed. 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to shed in the rear yard. On October 3rd, an inspection report was mailed to the owner on Broward County Property Appraiser's website. I've had no contact from the owner or contractor until late yesterday, when I spoke to a recently hired contractor who requested 63 days to comply. A pre-hearing inspection on January 13, 2025 shows that no permit had been issued as of yet. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Property address 1023 Northwest 2nd Ave. Owner LDA Ventures 2 LLC. Case number Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Case number BE2406. Oh, we did that one, right? Yeah, we did that. I'm sorry. Property address 1412 Northwest 12th Street, owner Jethro Williams Sr., case number BE 2406-0013. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case was opened on June 4, 2024 for enclosed carport. I received the email with the case from the building inspector Alejandro del Rio. Inspection report was made on July 2nd, 2024. Final notice was made on July 24, 2024. And notice of hearing was made on October 28, 2024. The permit, the property has been cited for under Florida Building Code Section 105.3.2.1 for expiry permit. We're asking the magistrate, for work enclosed carport is 105.3, it's expired permit, sorry. We're asking magistrate to find that the violation exists to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or $50 per day thereafter.
63 days, is that what you said?
63 days, yes.
Okay, so ordered.
Moving on to page 5, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 330 Southwest 29th Ave. Owner, Trident Realty Groups, LLC, case number BE 24070053. Notice posted at the property on 11/19/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Alexander Arbores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address is read. The property was cited for violation of FPC 2023 Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to window and exterior door replacement, interior alterations, including but not limited to kitchen and bathroom. The case was opened July 8, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner on 8/26/2024. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 6. Nope. Page 7, property address 3400 Gulf Ocean Drive, 1906S. Owner, Sunshine Specialty Management, LLC. Case number BE 2406-0129. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Alexander Arbores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address is read. This property was cited for violation of FPC 2023 Section 105.1, work without permit, including full interior alterations, flooring, soundproofing, kitchen, and master bath. This case was opened on June 19, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner June 25, 2024. Final notice mailed 8/2/2024. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
City is also requesting for the final order to be recorded.
So ordered.
Page 8, Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 515 Northeast 3rd Street. Owner, M.L. Flagler Owner, LLC. Case number BE 241-0042. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address is read. There are expired permits related to this property. As stated in today's agenda, the case has not complied. The city is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days?
42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, so ordered.
Property address 702 Northwest 6th Ave. Owner, Started From the Ground Up, LLC. Case number BE 24050159. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Notice posted at 1 East Bar Boulevard, 1225.
Building Inspector Preston Mark for the city presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. The case has not complied. The city is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 10, property address. Oh, yeah, that they left, right? Yeah.
711 Southwest 17th Street.
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. Property address 711 Southwest 17th Street, case number BE 24070379. Owner Eduardo and Vinicius Denise. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Notice posted at 1 East Bar Boulevard, 1225.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation Florida Building Code 2023-111.1.1. The use and occupancy of this dwelling has been changed from the original permitted occupancy classification to a multifamily dwelling by converting the carport/garage to a separate dwelling unit without obtaining the required permits and certificate of occupancy. The case was opened 7/26/24. Inspection report mailed 8/8/24. Final notice mailed 9/13/24. And special magistrate notice mailed 11/18/24. I visited this property to investigate a possible work without permit and illegal conversion of a carport into a rental unit. No one was at home at the time, so I left a courtesy notice. I thereafter spoke with the owner, Vinny Des, who indicated that he bought the property as is and was not aware that it had any violations. During my investigation, we obtained evidence that the home was remodeled, including the separate unit with a kitchen and bathroom. This illegal space is being advertised as a separate rental unit, which require a change of use. The violation was founded, and to date, our records show no permits being pulled for the conversion or the remodel of this unit. We have had several follow-up conversations with the owner. However, to date, he has yet to address the violation. He indicated to me today that he did obtain plans from his architect and is in the process of submitting applications to have the unit remodeled. He also mentioned that he had spoken with Bert Ford, Chief Zoning Officer, who indicated that the property he had the ability to convert the property to a duplex. I will review this information at some point in the future to see if this is consistent with my case. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 91 days to comply or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 10. Property address 2124 Southwest 3rd Terrace. Case number BE 24070121. Owner, Faye Plasny Corp. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Posted at 1 East Bar Boulevard, 1225.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation FBC 2023-105.1. The building was illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: a new fence, the replacement of windows and doors, kitchen and bath remodel, and also an AC changeout. The case was opened 7/11/24. Inspection report mailed 7/16/24. Final notice mailed 8/21/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 11/1/24. I visited this property but was unable to get access. However, during our investigation, we obtained evidence that the property was remodeled, including the kitchen, bathrooms, windows, doors, AC units, and a new fence. The violation was found, and to date we have no record of any permits being pulled for this work. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 3075 Southwest 16th Street, case number BE 2403-0090. Owner Julio Rodriguez, homestead exempted. Yanelis Ortega Rodriguez. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023-105.1. This building was illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: a new fence, windows and doors, kitchens, baths, and AC units. The case was opened 3/14/24. Inspection report mailed 3/28/24. Final notice 8/6/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 10/30/24. The case was initially handled by Inspector Del Rio, who is no longer with the city. During the investigation, he met with the owner, Julio Rodriguez, who gave access to the property. In the backyard, there were 2 metal sheds and a detached structure that appeared to be a laundry or utility room with a bathroom. The permit history showed that this property did not have any permits for this installation. Mr. Rodriguez was informed that the permits were required for this work, and he was only required to have 1 shed on property. He has been working to obtain the permits for the aluminum shed under building permit BLD GN 240900152, which is in process, and also plan to remove the 2 other sheds, which apparently has been done, but to date we have yet to inspect the property. Photos attached. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 11, Inspector Andrew Gebbia. Property address 1112 Mandarin Isle. Owner Innovax Group LLC. Case number BE 2407-0083. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 12/25.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: interior remodel, windows, doors, driveways, shade structure. This case was opened up on 7/9/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 7/12/24. Final notice was mailed on 8/29/24, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 11/18/2024. After reviewing information of the current listing of the property and in the BCPA website, I observed the following work done to the property: windows and doors, kitchen and bathroom renovation, new extended driveway, shade structure at the rear of the property. I looked at the permit history for this property, and it does not show permits for the work done. On 12/27/24, the master permit BLD GEN 24100255 was issued, but all of the sub-permits are still either waiting client reply or a fee payment. The city is requesting to the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Is on page 12. Property address 1120 Southwest 32nd Street. Owner Wanda Molina. Case number BE 2408-0227. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
This was case 0227, correct? 1120? Okay, sorry. Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a tiki hut and shed. This case was opened up on 8/9/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 8/21/2024. The final notice was mailed on 9/6/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 11/12/2024. I arrived at the property on 8/20/2024. I could see the tiki hut from the street and the shed. I checked records, and there are no permits for either the tiki hut or the shed. I have been in contact with Ms. Molina. I have inspected the property to help her navigate the permit process. Currently, she is searching for a contractor, which she has found a contractor, and they're going to rip down the tiki hut and the shed and rebuild new ones with permits. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1241 Southwest 29th Street. Owner Camila Arteji Pazel. Sorry, I know that's wrong. Case number BE 2408-0257. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Notice posted at 1 Eastborough Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits, in the following manner, but not limited to a roof over the carport. This case was opened up on 8/20/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 8/22/24. The final notice was mailed on 9/26/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 11/18/2024. I arrived at the property on 8/21/2024. I observed that the roof area is extended from the main house over the carport. Before it was a flat roof, open carport. There was no permit for this work. I have spoken to the owner. She has a permit application submitted, BLD-GEN 2409-0342, for the new roof alterations. The city is requesting to the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 fine per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 13. Property address 1347 Southwest 30th Street. Owner Andrew Holland. Case number BE 2408-0271. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Posted at 1 Eastborough Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a wood fence, gates, brick paver driveway. This case was opened up on 8/21/24. The inspection report was mailed on 8/21/24. The final notice was mailed on 10/3/2024, and the special magistrate notice on 10/30/2024. I arrived at the property on 8/27/2024. I observed a new gray brick paver driveway and swale. There is also a new gate going across the east and west sides of the house to the neighbor's property. I checked records, and there are no permits for either applied or issued. There is also no permit for the wood fence installed. The city is requesting to the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is at the top of page 14. Property address 1919 Sunrise Key Boulevard. Case number BE 2405-0070. Owner Guy K. Johnson, Dennis DeAlessio. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Posted at 1 Eastborough Boulevard, 1/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited under FBC 2023-105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a garage converted into living space / bedroom. This case was opened up on 5/13/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 5/14/2024. The final notice was mailed on 8/27/24. and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 10/8/2024. Based on the information provided by Code Compliance Officer Pratt Gavin, this property was cited for converting the garage into a bedroom without obtaining the required permits. This property was visited by Inspector Del Rio and was met by contractor Bahrim Namid. I spoke with Bahrim Namid on 1/15/2025. He informed me that he was out of the country for the holidays and now he is submitting plans from his architect within a week. He will notify me when submitted. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
So ordered. Moving on to page 16. Property address 225 Northwest 8th Street, 1-A. Case number BE 2407-0105. Owner 225 Northwest 8th Street LLC in care of RTW Rentals. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Notice posted at 1 East Bar Boulevard, 1225. Jose, I have cough drops if you want some. I have cough drop if you want some.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 17 at the bottom, property address 645 Northeast 10th Ave, owner 645 Northeast 10th Ave LLC, case number BE 2407-0126. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/24. Notice posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
I need to, let me reschedule next time, right? Okay. Moving on to page 19, property address 805 Northwest 2nd Ave, 1-6. Owner 805 Northwest 2nd Avenue LLC in care of RTW Rentals. Case number BE 2407-0102. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 925 Northwest 12th Ave. Owner Springfield Missionary Baptist. Case number BE 2407-0104. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report on the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 20 at the top, property address 1108 Northeast 15th Ave. Owner Shifa 101 LLC, case number BE 2407-0088. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report on the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter. Tacha, there is one on page 19 at the bottom. Did we do that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 180 days or $100 a day fine. All right, so on page 20, going back to BE 2407-0088.
Yes.
So ordered.
Okay, thank you. Property address 1115 Southwest 2nd Court, 1-5. Owner Optimal Health Pharmacy LLC. Case number BE 2407-0111. Notice posted at the property on 11/19/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 21, property address 1336 Northeast 5th Ave, owner 1336 Blue Ribbon Properties LLC, case number BE 240700136. Notice posted at the property on 11/18/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1430 West Broad Boulevard, owner GKYS Holdings LLC, case number BE 240700116. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 22, property address 2101 Southwest 2nd Ave, owner Mayan and Vladimir Aponte, case number BE 240700132. Notice posted at the property on 11/22/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The report was submitted, but repairs are required. The city is requesting 180-day extension for the owner to complete the repairs and submit a new report of fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 3400 Gulf Ocean Drive, owner South Point Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 240700257. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The report was submitted, but repairs are required. The city is requesting 180-day extension for the owner to complete the repairs and submit a new report or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 4950 West Prospect Road, owner Spear Laboratories Holdings LLC, case number BE 240700141. Notice posted at the property on 11/20/24. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 1225.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been completed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to page 23. At the bottom, property address 1316 Southeast 11th Court, owner BB Southport Holdings LLC, case number BE 240100153. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 8/29/24. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,950, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 24 at the bottom, property address 1240 Seminole Drive, owner 1240 Seminole Drive Trust, case number BE 23080184. This property was cited on 8/10/23 to comply by 8/10/23. One section complied at $150. Total accrued fines $13,650. Appeal deadline 8/25/23. No appeal received. The city is requesting to impose the fines of $500.
So ordered.
Page 25, property address 511 East Broad Boulevard, owner West Pavilion Limited, case number BE 23080329. This case was first heard on 2/15/24 to comply by 3/21/24. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
I will read the case. Yeah.
Oh.
I've been in contact with the customer. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presented the case as read. The case is not complied, but they already applied for demolition permit. I will request 63 days extension and stop the fines.
All right. All right, so stay the fines with a 63-day extension, so ordered.
Okay. Page 26, Property address 3700 Galt Ocean Drive, number 1203. Case number CE 1202-1671. Owner Nige T. Trong. This was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 5/21/15 to comply by 7/2/15. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $153,750, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 4312 Northeast 22nd Ave. Owner Gabriel Rebo, Ahuva Natalie Cohen. Case number BE 24020102. This case was first heard on 6/20/24 to comply by 9/19/24. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fines $3,750. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $954.22.
So ordered.
Property address 4500 North Federal Highway. Owner Edcar Investments, Inc. Case number BE 24020178. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 9/19/24. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,800, which continues to accrue.
I will read that one. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, updating the case as read. The case is not complied. There are permits in process. The city is requesting 62 days to come in compliance and stop the fines.
So ordered.
Okay.
Thank
Moving
you.
on to page 28. Property address 1380 West McNabb Road. We did? Oh, okay. It sounded familiar. Property address 1800 South Federal Highway. Owner Shalini Hospitality Fort Lauderdale LLC. Case number BE 23080443. This case was first heard on 3/21/24 to comply by 5/2/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines $4,600. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Page 30, property address 3700 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner MSKP Galt Ocean LLC. Case number BE 23080298. This case was first heard on 2/15/24 to comply by 3/28/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines $4,000. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,275.
So ordered.
Property address 3800 North Ocean Boulevard. Case number owner MSKP Galt Ocean LLC. Case number BE 23080283. This case was first heard on 2/15/24 to comply by 3/28/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines $4,500. City is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,275.
So ordered.
Page 31 at the top, property address 5050 Northwest 12th Ave, 9. Case number BE 23070299. Owner Messi FLLC. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $18,300, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 5700 North Federal Highway. Owner Lake Estate Med Complex Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 23090160. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 4/28/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $8,200, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
At this time, Your Honor, we would like all the cases listed on page 34 into the record as closed, rescheduled, or withdrawn.
So ordered.
Thank you. This concludes our January 16, 2025 special magistrate hearing for the Building Division.